Hi, my name is Suzan Smadi, and I'm here to talk about my NDE, near death experience. So, I haven't publicly spoken about this, but I feel like it could help people who have experienced this and might have questions. So, my near death experience happened when I was 5 years old. It was right after my sister's birth, and it was a day that my parents were having company over for dinner. They were having a small get together, a small dinner party. And I remember it like it was yesterday. It's a very emotional topic to speak about because, it's a near death experience. It's a very personal topic. It's a very private event that happens. When we pass over, when we pass on, it's a very sacred event. So they were having a dinner party, and I was playing around with their neighbors, our neighbor's son, because we were friends and we were running. I don't really remember if he was chasing me or I was chasing him, but it doesn't really matter. What happened was I slipped in the living room and I fell and I hit my head. I stopped breathing, and that's when everything happened. So, from what I remember, I immediately, like, who are we, right? That's really the question. Who am I? Am I my body or am I something else? So I believe that I'm not my body. I'm not, my body is something that I'm just wearing, like jeans and the shirt that I'm wearing. It doesn't really make a difference for me. A body is just a material expression of what I wanted to experience in this existence. So from what I remember, I fell. I hit my head. I fell backwards, so I landed on my head, and I immediately was my consciousness, my spirit, and my soul left my body at that very exact moment. So then I'm hovering over my body for not very long, because immediately I was transferred to this other dimension, this other like reality, this other realm. I know a lot of people say that they see a tunnel with a bright light at the end of it. I didn't see that. What I experienced was just instantaneous, and simultaneously. So as I saw my body, my small 5-year-old body laying on the floor, and my parents like rushing over to me, and everyone being very upset about what had happened, I saw my life through their eyes, if that makes any sense. So I saw things from like different perspectives all at the same time. And um, this other reality, this other realm. And from what I remember, it was really beautiful. It felt very peaceful, very serene. It just felt like home, like my true home. I mean, I had just left my home, it seems like to me, and went into this other home that I had, that I always knew that I came from, actually. So, what I remember was the colors were extremely bright. Um, there was grass, and the grass was very, very, very green. Then I saw this being who I believed was an angel, and we spoke. The angel and I spoke. It was the Archangel Gabriel. That's who showed up for me. And we spoke for a little bit, and I was told that I had to go back. I didn't really want to go back because this other realm felt so peaceful and so serene and so like loving. It was like the very first time from this existence that I felt true unconditional love, and true peace. So I didn't want to come back, but I was told that I had to live out this life and that I had a mission to complete. And just like that, I came back. So that was when I was 5 years old, and it was quite interesting because I had such a vast um, experience that allowed me to have I guess, a new understanding about life and about what we are and what we're here to do. Even though I was 5 years old, it was really life changing. And yes, I lived a life after that, and I did the normal thing. I was a kid and so on and so forth. But I was a different sort of kid. I was a loner for the most part, and my imagination was very open. And I believe it was partly because of that experience. Yes, children have great imaginations, and it's useful, but I believe that your imagination is the key to the power that we actually have in creating. So after that, I've had like different experiences with out of body experience. And it happened again. I mean, I didn't have a near death experience, but just my spirit left my body. It was so the spirit is the consciousness, and that can travel. So when we're dreaming, sometimes our spirit leaves our body and goes into the astral plane and experiences another reality. We can visit loved ones that have been distant from us, not necessarily like crossed over, but just like not living in the same country as you. So that is what I remember doing when my spirit left my body after that, when I was a teenager. And that's pretty much another topic, and I just want to keep this very short about my near death experience. So I invite you to let me know if you've had a near death experience and how that was for you. Um, just to go back a little bit to my near death experience, when I was 5, I was taken to a hospital. So my mom got me to breathe again after I had turned blue. And from what she told me, I was rushed to the hospital to get checked out because I wasn't breathing for a bit. But the doctor said everything was fine. They checked me, my body, they checked my brain, and everything seemed to be working and functioning normally. And years later, I had an MRI done, and everything seems to be a-okay. Everything seems to be where it should be, and everything seems to be functioning normally, or as they consider normal. So that was my experience with the NDE, and I would love to know if others have experienced similar and what your take is on it. Thank you so much for tuning in. All my love to you. Bye bye.